are uh okay. We are go. Welcome back. I'm ready. Introduce it.
You want me to introduce it?
Yeah, bro, you got this. Do it.
Alright. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Discussion Production Podcast. Today we thought we'd talk about ourselves really as a kind of welcoming video so you guys could get to know us better.
Bro, I'm gonna need you to like up the enthusiasm. Like you gotta be like hyped and ready to do the podcast, bro.
Yeah. Just shake it off. Hey.
Yeah. Don't be nervous, man. We got this. Alright, so how'd you want to start this off?
I mean, I guess we could start with background. Or yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna let you lead it.
Alright, so me personally, I come from a Hispanic background. My parents are both from Mexico, but I was fortunate enough to grow up here, so I didn't have to struggle that much.
Where is here exactly?
Las Vegas.
I meant the country, sir.
Oh, the United States of America.
Sweet America.
But yeah, I was born and raised in the U.S. Privileged enough to be here. My first language was Spanish, but I learned English pretty quickly, I guess.
Oh man, you tell us.
So before I started watching all those like Dora the Explorer and shows like that to practice my English, and fortunately I got through the first year of kindergarten knowing enough English to have a conversation, and then slowly but surely learn more and more, and now I'd say I know English more than I do Spanish, which is I wish that wasn't true, but kind of is. I can still talk Spanish pretty well, but that's besides the point.
Give us some Spanish right now, please.
Hola a todos, me da gusto que estén escuchando ahorita. Espero que les guste este episodio.
Okay,
y
bro.
Que tengan un día.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what you just said because like I took 2 years of that in high school, and I don't remember a single word. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You understood hola?
Oh yeah, hello, hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, ¿y tú?
See, there you go.
Yeah,
you know more than just hello.
Oh, bro, look, see, here's the thing that I hate about like them teaching Spanish at school. It's like they'll teach you the Spanish, but if you try to talk to like a Mexican person with what they taught you, they look at you like you're a psychopath and they're like, yeah, this wasn't worth it. It just doesn't work.
I think the problem is that in school they teach you formal Spanish, whereas we speak like informal Spanish, I guess.
Yeah.
And same goes for like English.
Yeah,
they
that's
teach you
what I
like
was saying.
formal words, well, like normal conversation.
Bro, your audio cut out there a little bit.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, thank you.
No man, you're good.
But yeah, what I was saying was that even in English class, they teach you formal English, not informal, I guess. So when you have a conversation, it sounds a little bit off.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. It's like no Americans like, hello, how are you? Like that's not how people really communicate with one another. It just doesn't like seem like it's right. It just seems awkward.
Right. And then there are some things in Spanish that are basically Spanglish, but we don't really mind saying those things. Like troca means truck in Spanish, but troca is technically not a word in Spanish.
Oh,
You would have to
wow.
say carro.
Oh,
Yeah.
that still just sounds like
Plenty of
car,
people-
though.
Yeah. But plenty of people still say like, oh, like me compré una troca, which means I bought myself a truck,
Yeah.
and it's just normal. But like in actual Spanish, it's not.
Oh,
Or
okay.
like bills would be biles, and that's normal, but it's technically not the right word.
Yeah, okay. That's weird. That's awkward.
But I mean, hey, what can you do? Education is education.
Yep. As long as it's not college, because college sucks.
I mean, every school year has its own problems, right?
Bro, I can't handle college. College is just like the dumbest thing to me. Like, I don't enjoy college whatsoever. And everyone tried to convince me as a kid, like, oh no, college, that's gonna be the greatest years of your life. And when I got to college, I was like, dude, I hate everything about this.
You saw those like movies where they were just in the dormitory, and then you had all these like fun events or whatever, and then all these shenanigans happened. But it's basically nothing like that. No one wants to really do anything. You're just kind of there to do your work.
Yes, yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, I still do the work, but to me, I'm just there. And that's the problem with college. And for me, like, I do feel like college is just like one big scam, so they can just take a bunch of money from you. I don't believe in the institution of college. Not even in a bit, because it's the dumbest thing. You're paying for what you essentially got in high school for free. So,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah, in a way, but then again, some of it's like more advanced, but for me, it feels like I'm doing all the same stuff over, and it's like I know everything that we've already done. It's just give me the piece of paper that people pay $50,000 for, so I can leave and get a job.
Right. But I mean, I know I didn't touch much on my background yet, but maybe if you get started with yours, I can kind of remember stuff about my background, and then we could just go from there.
Like, what do you want to know?
I don't know, man. Just how you grew up and what you believe in. And
Bro, this is why we gotta have structure, because we did not plan anything for this podcast. We didn't even know when we were gonna record again.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone in the audience is wondering why everything is just so out of whack right now, it's that we just started a podcast up out of nowhere and random, and we just started doing this for no real apparent reason, and neither of us really have any sort of skills in this industry whatsoever, and I'd say the entertainment industry whatsoever. Technically, right. I guess I was a YouTuber for a little bit, but then I deleted my channel, and because I was literally doing gaming videos but on my phone, because that's what I had at the time. So that was awful. And here we are 4 years later, and now we just started a podcast out of nowhere. So do give us some time so we can build a schedule and learn how to do this much more properly, and because we really don't know what we're doing, but hey, I'm having fun doing it so far, so might as well keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
It's how could I put this? It's a homemade, I guess, and
Yeah.
there's a bit of charm in that.
Yeah, I sure hope so. It's when we reached the double digits in the other episode, we were both so excited, because it's wow, I didn't even expect it to do that good.
I didn't expect to get that many views.
Yeah, because see, the crazy thing is about this is whenever I see somebody make a podcast or do something, it's already somebody who has an established personality online, and they kind of already have at least a little bit of a following or a fan base. But
Right.
in our case, it's neither of us. We're just two random guys who got together and were like, hey man, let's just do a podcast. Well, I wouldn't say we're random. We did go to high school together and all, but we're just two guys who were random people on the internet. So let's do a podcast. So here we are.
Yeah, a podcast is usually kind of the second step or the third step.
Yeah, it's
But we kind of just said, screw that. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, it's
Talking
like
seems easy enough.
oh yeah. Okay, buddy. Yeah, we're probably not even gonna make it to an hour this episode. You never even know because
You never even know.
there was no structure, and we didn't even. To be honest, did we even plan this? Like, we didn't even know how we're gonna do this. Like, if it's gonna be a weekly thing or like bi-weekly, like every other week.
No, I mean, I guess it was just kind of mutually decided. Not mutually, but like we were both kind of like, I guess it's whenever we can.
Yeah, I think like
But we
maybe,
should get some structure going.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe further down the line we'll have like a set schedule, like what day the episodes will be coming out, what we're talking about, because like this time around, like I said, we really don't have any following or anything, so we kind of wanted to introduce ourselves to the audience to see like who we are and whatnot, because neither of us really have any sort of online following whatsoever, and we really are started like just now starting out. Like you're using a phone. I kind of have like my own little cheap microphone set up, my computer and whatnot, but so
Right.
yeah, we kind of got like the
It ain't
bare
much.
bones. Yeah, it ain't much.
It ain't much.
But hey man, like,
And I mean,
yeah, go on.
yeah.
No,
Me specifically, I don't even have social media, so I don't have any following whatsoever.
Yeah, see, like I'm
so
the same
yeah,
way.
I am definitely just. I'm definitely just here.
I'm the same way because like I know a lot of people like they hang around Twitter, Reddit, and all that other stuff. I really don't use any type of social media whatsoever, so it's almost like there's a reason neither of us have any sort of following, because neither of us really use social media or anything. So it's like, how do we get the word around? Like we might have to start making Twitters, man, and getting the word around.
I know, man. You gotta get that hashtag. I don't even know.
Hashtag discussion. Spread it around. Tell your
Hashtag
family and friends.
discussion.
Discussion production.
Tell your family if they want to hear an hour-long episode of two guys just randomly talking about a topic very unprofessionally.
Oh, bro, dude, we're gonna get the structure down eventually. I just don't know when. But yeah, dude, I'm having fun. So like, I like doing this, man. It's cool.
All right. Anyways,
Okay, so
back to the topic at hand.
back to the top of the hand, kind of introducing ourselves. Let me kind of get a crack at it. So, this is weird. Give me a sec. Wow. Now I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't even know what to talk about.
Just talk about your childhood or something, man. I don't know.
Well, my childhood sucked. So, I'd say my background was I was born in Chicago, Illinois. I am African American, or as I like to say, black. Because I really... Okay, I'm going to go on a little side tangent right here. I really hate, like, on the news or, like, on the internet where somebody says, like, this is, like, we're talking about persons of color, and I'm like, dude, just say black. It's so much easier. Just say, like, I don't want to say, like, I'm a person of color. I just want to say I'm black. It's... I don't know. It's a little weird thing, but, yeah. Wow. What else is there to talk about? Bro, I'm drawing blanks. We should have planned this. I need a script. I need structure, bro.
We can't make a script.
I know it can't
We
be
could
a
ask
script, but like
prompts.
I need like to think. We didn't think about any of this stuff. Barely.
All right.
Bro, you just
Did
throw
you
me out
want
here
to
on the
talk
spot.
about my childhood?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. It's like I have oh my god, wow, I am awful. I have 3 other brothers. I'm the youngest of 4 brothers. I already said I was born in Chicago, Illinois. Well, probably not Chicago, but I know I was born in Illinois. I really never met my father. Pretty much have lived with my mom pretty much my entire life. And my brothers and I, we all move around like a lot as children. So we really never had like an established place to like live or call home or anything. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's weird talking about yourself and like recounting this information, just like give it out to the public. So I don't know. It's kind of weird for me to even think about this stuff all over again. It's not really something that's always on my mind.
Right. I mean, I guess I could kind of go over like my personality traits and kind of explain that. Maybe that could get me to think about like my childhood or like what else we should talk about or hobbies or whatever else.
Okay, bro, do it.
So me personally, all right. So me personally, I am generally pretty timid, and I'd say that I was like that since birth. But I mean, part of the reason why I'm so timid is because my parents never really forced me into doing anything social. So I just kind of stayed back and never really talked to people. It wasn't until like senior year when I started doing volunteer service that I became more confident. And I guess another personality trait I have is I'm caring. And I mean, I've always kind of had that, but I feel like most of my decisions that I make are because I'm caring. What else is there to say about? I don't really know what else is there. But yeah, for the most part, I've always been very timid, which is why I feel like I'm very quiet and not very eccentric and excited. Much like very contrary to many YouTubers on the internet right now that just scream at the top of their lungs. But like, I am definitely not your standard run-of-the-mill YouTuber that's just like, hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're gonna go jump off a cliff because that's fun. Like, that's overreact. That's an overreaction, I know. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you say are your personality traits?
I'd say like back in the day, I used to be a whole lot like more timid, but like as time has gone on, I'm really not that much of a timid person. I do go out of my way to have more conversations with people, like more often than not at this point in my life. So, I try to be a whole lot more outgoing because like so many years in like high school, I was like that timid, quiet person in the background, and then like eventually I just got really I don't know, like tired of being that person. So like that's kind of when I decided to start being a whole lot more social with like other people. So like,
Right.
yeah. So like where I am now, like I do try to be much more social and to be and get like more interactions with people. And yeah. See, like I think that's good. It's good to be open with people and like start to develop conversations and have better like relationships with people. So I like that.
I mean, I still struggle with that, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's very easy to not be a very social person right now.
Yeah.
Especially in times like this where you could just order your food and you don't have to ask for help. You could just Google it. And like, I think that's the good part, is that everything is online, so you don't have to talk to people. And that's why I find it easier. Especially since, I'm an introvert. So, yeah, I tend to just try to avoid talking to people as much as I can.
I've gotten to like a weird state in my life where I can't really say whether I'm an introvert or an extrovert, because it's like I like being around people, but not for too long, because like at some point it's just like I do need my own private time. But I do enjoy like spending, like, sometimes I'll be on like 6-7 hour like long calls on Discord, or just like, because really there hasn't been too much time to hang out with anybody or go out and do anything. But like I do like communicating and like talking with people. So
Right.
Yeah, so like I do enjoy people's company, but at like some point, like there are like certain days where like I just need to like spend an entire day like by myself doing my own thing.
And I think that's everyone, right? At some point you're just like, I don't really want to talk to anyone. I just need my own space. I don't really want to think about anything else. I just want to relax and do me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want to do something and then your friends or your family do not. So it's kind of like a time where you could do whatever you want.
Yeah, see, like, I know, like, I like playing games and all and whatnot, but recently I started to put down games a whole lot more so I can start learning how to be better at like digital art and like Photoshop and all of these other programs, because like I do spend so many hours playing games, and I like none of that playing games really doesn't translate into actual skill for other things. So like I'm starting to put more time and effort into like digital drawing because I have like a graphics tablet, and I started like learning Photoshop and just all these other things that I wouldn't be doing if I'm just sitting there playing games for like hours on end. So I do find like that like it is a positive to get off of games every once in a while and start like playing, not playing, and start like learning new skills and do like doing other things in general. So I do find that kind of cool.
Why don't you tell us more about how you started getting into digital drawing and stuff like that? I think that would be a good topic to talk about.
Okay, cool. So pretty much ever since high school, I started drawing like a lot. Like I would draw for like hours on end because there's really nothing to do like at home. Right. So yeah, pretty much high school is when I just couldn't stop drawing, and that's kind of like where my love for art really came. It's just drawing whenever I really could, just drawing anything. But then like further down the line, when I started to get like my time more occupied with things like work and whatnot, it would be like I do one drawing, I stop for like 2 months, and then finally I get back to like doing like one really big drawing. It would always like be a cycle like that where I do one really good drawing and it would look like a masterpiece, and then I'd stop for like 3 weeks or like a month, and then I would do another drawing. So like I am trying to be more like frequent and actually do more drawings like as time goes on, so I can become better, especially at digital, because normally when I do draw, it's like on pencil and paper, it's with like sketchbooks and whatnot. So like I do enjoy art and whatnot. So what are you gonna say?
And then how did you end up getting into Photoshop?
Photoshop is just because I've been paying for like Adobe, like because with the student email Adobe, I'm only paying like $30 a month for it, because I know like these programs are like super expensive otherwise, and they've kind of just been I've been paying and not using any of these things for I'd say probably a good like 6 or 7 months. So it's like I'm spending money on this, I'm not even using any of these programs, and like all of these are like what actual professionals use, so it's like I might as well get used to them. I'm like, we're both like about 20 years old now, so it's like you might as well start to get a feel for like these things if you ever like want like to get practice in these certain fields or whatnot, if whether you're doing like graphic design or just like art in general in the future. So alright, and I find it kind of funny that companies offer so many student discounts, because like any student ever, if they have a school email, they'll pretty much exclusively use that to their advantage as much as they can. Oh yeah. Which includes using stuff like that. Because normally, getting Microsoft Word is like super expensive. But you know, students get it free or whatever, so I mean, why not take advantage, right? Yeah. They're already taking away all our money. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was reading like news articles and whatnot where like all these people like because of coronavirus, like okay, classes are done, like you guys can't stay in dorms, you gotta leave. It's like we're taking your money, but get out. And I was like, okay, wow. But like I do think a school email address is like a super valuable thing, because that's the only reason I got like free Amazon Prime, is because of my student email address. There's like so many different companies that will let you use like a student email address as like basically like a get out of jail free card. So I'm like, oh, this is great. It's like I'm paying less for certain things, and it's just like the student email address is very beneficial, especially for like professional programs and whatnot. So that's cool. And I think part of that is because a lot of companies realize that students already pay enough, so every little bit helps. Because you know, most kids, like the stereotype says, just eat ramen in their dorm room and stay up very late at night buying a super cheap energy drink just to finish up a project. Oh yeah, it's like it's just basically sucking them dry. They're just taking all the money that they can. So
As for me, I like drawing animations. Firstly, I've always found that kind of a passion of mine, just animating. More specifically, I also like 3D modeling, which is what I'm trying to study for college. I'm trying to be a visual artist, I guess, like the people that make objects and designs and all that for games. But yeah, that's something I enjoy doing because I feel very artistic. And I like to see something finally come together. Like when you first start off with like, let's say I'm making like a 3D model. You start off with like simple shape, but then I could turn it into things like a lightsaber or a robot or whatever else. And that's satisfying to me. Same with that animation. You start with a simple drawing, and then you add a few more drawings, and then there you go. You make an animation. So that's what I'm trying to study.
Yeah, it's nice. Like, I do get the same feeling with like a piece of art. It's just like, towards the end of like, oh my gosh, towards the end of like, I think 2 semesters ago, I had like took in like an art class, and it's just the idea of, I've got this really big project that I've been working on for like 2-3 weeks, and it's just to see the entire like final finished product at the end. It's like a super satisfying thing to see. It's like, oh man, like all of this hard work is finally worth it, and it paid off in the end, because you see this, hopefully something that you see that and that you enjoy it, and you're like, wow, this was really, really worth it. I really do think that feeling is like super satisfying to see like something that you've worked so hard on to actually be finished.
Right, and then another hobby of mine would be photography, which, okay, let me tell you guys a story, right? So it's the start of the college semester, and I'm finally starting to get into non-primary classes. Like, I don't have to do the English 101s and the maths and whatever else, so now I actually get to do things. But me being an idiot, I just chose visual media and didn't specify whether I wanted animation or not. So I was forced to take photography, and I was like, really? Photography? Why? And then I was taking a class, and I was like, it's okay. I don't know. And then, like halfway through the semester, I wasn't really liking it that much, so my grades slipped a little bit, and I ended up passing the class. But like afterwards, I was like, man, I am never going to touch that camera again, because they let us rent out a camera. And I'm glad I didn't have to buy one, because cameras are like $500 plus.
Yeah.
So, you know, that would be quite the investment for a class I didn't enjoy.
Bro, why not just buy an iPhone?
It's not the same. It doesn't get pixelated when you actually zoom in.
Yeah.
For the most part. But anyway. So yeah. And then after a while, I was like, maybe I'll give it a try again. Then I bought a camera, and then I took pictures at a nearby like park, and I ended up enjoying it. So now I'll go to like not national parks, but like small preservation parks, I guess. Or like sometimes when I go to mountains, I'll do photography, because I enjoy like nature photography. And it's just a passion I discovered through trying different stuff, forcefully, but still.
Yeah, like see, I like that. Like you said like you didn't enjoy it at first, and then like you went back to it, and then like you started to enjoy it more. Yeah, see, like I do like that, because like there are so many people who will like pick up something and then find out that it's like that they might not be good at it, and then they'll just put it down for basically like the rest of their lives. But then people just don't go back at it and try it again, and to like see if they really, really like it. It's like for a lot of things in your life, you might not like doing something for like the first time around, but then like maybe if you try it again, maybe if you do something different, or like you just like try something in like a different way or something, then like you actually might find like that's something you actually enjoy doing, or you might have a talent for. You just didn't get it the first time. Anything you do, you're not going to get it the first time around, but it's like the things that you really like want to pursue and try doing, you just got to keep doing it over and over and over to really see if it's something you like doing. So like I really do like that you went back and like tried to do it.
I mean, and trust me, when I first started doing it, I was no good like at all. And there were people in that class that already took amazing photos, but they were just kind of forced to take that class too. But they were already super experienced. They took really good photos. And then they just kind of sat in the back of the class like, yeah, I know it's a good photo. What else do you want? And I was like, I'm over here taking not very great photos, and you're over here like, oh, I know it's good. Just tell me what I need to do. And I'm just like, But I mean, if you enjoy something, but you're not very good at it, just try it and try it and try it. And I mean, if it's something you still enjoy, then I'd say still go for it.
So, like, in that class, do they like teach you anything about like Photoshop or anything, or is it just taking pictures in general?
They didn't teach us about Photoshop per se. Though it was a different editing app. I can't remember what it was, but we basically just edited the photos, like on the computer. We dealt with like the aperture and the white balance and all that kind of stuff. But I learned that there are a few apps you could get on your phone that do the exact same thing. So it works out.
Yeah. So like I was saying, how I've been like messing around with Photoshop. It's like Photoshop has so many like great like utilities and tools. They just like teach you, or like to help you just make photos look better. It's not like just for like like faking photos and like faking all these other things, but it really does have the tools to help you make something look so much better than it already does. And like that is the thing I like about Photoshop in general, even though it's like massively expensive.
Right, and from like the YouTube videos I've seen, it's very versatile no matter what you're trying to do.
Yeah, like I do think I've done it on a couple occasions where people will like make the animated GIFs inside of Photoshop, because it works really, really well for that.
Right, and I mean, I think that's a good thing about trying new things, is you could figure out different ways to utilize that skill that you learned from doing that thing, and then you could utilize that elsewhere.
Exactly.
So like for me, messing with lighting and doing all that kind of thing, I could probably transfer some of that skill over to Photoshop, because Photoshop also deals with like making things brighter or lighter, or adding this or adding that, from what I've seen.
Yeah, like I was giving you basically like a concept art of like things that we can have in the background while we do like the podcast. Like I was working on like basically making like a neon light that says like, oh, discussion production podcast and all these other different things. Like we do have like ideas in the works, but like Photoshop is a good tool to really help you like unleash your creativity and explore like a medium that like you didn't even know about. Because like if you look up just about like any tutorial for like what you're trying to do, I'm pretty sure like Photoshop can help you do like what it is you're trying to do.
Okay, and let me go off on a bit of a tangent here and say that a lot of the tutorials that you look up on YouTube are very outdated. And like when you try it yourself, it's a new version and they move things around. And it's just like, why? Why? So I think that's why it's good to learn the fundamentals and then kind of experiment on your own and figure out everything else.
Yeah, like it's like YouTube videos and things are good for help, but it is good like if you get like a new software or program to just go around and mess around and see what you can do on your own, and then maybe after that then you should look up tutorials about like certain specific things you're trying to do if you can't figure out how to do it on your own. It's always good to just like mess around and see what you can do before you start to look to see what all the other things that other people have done. Because like I do take like sort of like an online class type of deal, where it's like he'll say multiple times in the class that like there are like 3 different ways to do the exact same thing. It's all like how you want to do it.
Right, and I feel like that's a good teacher, but I feel like many of us have dealt with like the other kind where it's very structured, where you have to do it this way, and I feel like that's limiting to a lot of students. That's why my favorite teachers are ones that let you learn a different way.
Exactly. But like yeah, it's weird because like a good majority of teachers that I've had in like the school system really aren't that way. I do feel like if you really have a passion and you really care about something that you're like learning in school, it's like you should like take the time out of you should take your own free time into like investing and learning how to like develop those skills and like said topic that you want to do. It's like if you want to be like an art major or like photography major, you should be doing that type of thing like on your own time. It's not just doing it while you're at school. It's like developing the skill, so it's like natural to you. If you really enjoy it and like you want to make a career out of something, it's just then do that thing like on your free time to see if it's something you really enjoy and care about, then like go off and do that thing. That's what I think.
Right. And then that's another hobby of mine. I guess I have a lot of these, but another thing I like to do is write stories. But,
oh yeah.
Yeah. I tend to write a story and then kind of get stuck in like a chapter and then just put it off to the side and start something new. So I've yet to complete a story in its entirety, but you know, I'm working on it.
Yeah, you get that writer's block?
Yeah. But I mean, that's why I like to, as boring as it sounds, I like to listen to creative writing lectures because they teach me things about writing that I didn't even know.
Yeah, see, like that's cool. It's just like it's good not to only go based off your own ideas. It's like, okay, like let's see how someone in like this profession does something, and like let's see how I can build off of that. It's like if you it's good to draw inspiration from others and like to learn how to do those things, but it's not like good. Like don't try to go off and copy what they're doing. It's like good to see like, okay, how is this person using these ideas and how are they incorporating in them? And it's like that work. I need to see how I can do that and do that into my own work.
Right. And I mean, the funny thing is, when you start to realize these things and gain new skills, you start to view things differently. Just because, like, for me, for example, like, my protagonist was very bland and boring, and I realized that there was no good reason for the audience to like him. And that's what I learned from listening to a lecture. And then now that I listen to more lectures and I've learned more about writing, anytime I look at a movie or TV show or anything, I am just kind of in the back of my mind looking for how good the writing is, how this character develops, how this character develops. Is this a good arc? What is the point of this episode? And stuff like that.
More like the motivations behind like a certain character's actions and like things like that.
Yeah. Or I guess with Photoshop, I guess I'd imagine sometimes you look at other people's Photoshops and you're either like, holy crap, that's so good, or like, wow, they did a terrible job. Like, I'm sorry, but they did not do very good.
Oh, bro, like this is something I just started like 3 days ago, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or at least for like.
Just not learning.
At least for like my cousins or whatever, they took welding. So anytime they pass by a building and they see like a weld, they're like, bro, this weld is really good, or it's like, oh, I could do better. Or like, yeah, you know what I mean? So as you attain more skills, you start to think about things differently.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's cool.
Like, I don't know, if you look at a drawing and you're just like, could be better, or the shading wasn't that good or whatever.
Oh, well, oh, bro, you haven't met me, because like I'm the type of person, even when I was in school, like I would look at like my drawings and be like, oh no, like this is shit. And then everybody else there, they'd be like, oh no, man, like how'd you do that? Like that's the greatest thing ever. Like that's like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Like somebody producing this class, and I'm like, no, this sucks. So like I do hate a lot of the artwork that I make, but apparently other people seem to like think that it's really good. So
I think part of that is the audience, not the audience, but like the person that's telling you that doesn't really draw, so they don't see the flaws that you see.
I don't know, like some of these are like people that, like in like, the art class. It's just like I hate a lot of what I draw for like some random reason. I don't know why. It's like I'll go back and look at it like weeks or like a month later. I was like, oh yeah, I did a pretty good job. But like in the time being, it's just like there's something about this that I can do better. Like I was talking about how I was doing a final because I took an art class about 2 semesters ago or so. But I did something with like a scratchboard, which is basically I've told you what the scratchboard thing is, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
But explain to the audience.
Yeah, I was saying like, so like for anyone who doesn't know, a scratchboard is basically like where you're using It's not like they're not like needles, but it's kind of like just metal pens without like any ink. So basically, what a scratch board like background is, it's kind of like a white paper covered all in like entirely in ink, and it's like black ink, and like underneath is just the white when you scratch away all of that. So I did this entire thing. It's like waves and like a cliff at the very bottom, and like it's scratching away all these different like little sections, and like if you make a mistake, there's really no turning back towards that. So like, that was the thing that I really I worked on for like a long time. I think that in particular, I took like a good week on that just to finish, and I still didn't like it by the end of it. But like I look at it now, like I can turn around, like I can see it like over in my room, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did a pretty good job on that. But at the time being, like I hated doing it, like every second of it, and I was terrified.
Right. And do you think part of that is because you kind of feel like you could do better, and your brain kind of forces yourself to view it critically, so that you can do it better? Or is it just kind of like, I don't know, is it something else?
I think it's just me where like I hate just about everything I like produce or something.
Because I know a lot of people have that same issue.
Yeah.
Like all the animations I do is just like, man, that doesn't look that great. But then I look back at it and it's like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, see, it's like anything I create, it's like, okay, like I could have done this a whole lot better. What was I doing? So like I do kind of get like that stigma, but then I'll look back at things. I was like, oh yeah, like I spent a lot of time on that. Like I did fairly decent on it, so it's always nice.
Right. And I think that's pretty much it for all my hobbies besides, video games. But I mean, that's just a given.
Bro, we went on a huge talk. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, did you want to talk
hobbies.
about like what kind of video games we're into and why?
Oh no, bro, dude, we did good. We got some time off of that, bro.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, bro, look, no structure, and look at us go.
There we go. We don't need no script. Only when we have a sponsor, that's when we write a script.
Bro, Raid Shadow Legends, where are you at?
Sponsored by Audible.
Have you been seeing like the sponsor about like the compact wallet?
Yep. All the time.
Yeah, I've been seeing that one.
I'm just like, why? And that product, that thing has existed for a while.
Yeah, I don't know like why they're trying to like do ads now. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen that like way back when, but like now, all of a sudden out of nowhere. But let's not give them free advertising. Let them come to us so they can pay for it.
Right. But yeah, that's the only way we can write a script. Half the time we're gonna just be talking about how great it is and try to include in every single sentence.
Oh, weren't we just about talking about like video games for a sec? Were we?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you catch the technically Nintendo Direct this morning?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, bro, I know nothing about like the ARMS game or whatever, but I was like, who is this?
It's the most popular character from ARMS, dude.
Bro, I saw people spamming that in the chat. They're like Min, and I was like, bro, who is that? But yeah, why did I even bring this up? I don't know anything about this character. I barely play Smash that often, but you play a whole lot more than I do. Just saying.
Plenty.
Okay, don't get too cocky there.
No, I'm just saying I play it a lot more just because I am into Smash competitively. So I spend a lot more time on it. Like I try to learn new things and try to improve like all the time. And it's just like, yeah, you kind of just like, whatever, I'm bored, I'll just play it, because why not?
I barely ever pick up that game anymore.
I was just saying that you like more JRPGs and like indie games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I talked to like a couple people from like Vegas, and like they added me on Steam, and they're like, "Oh my god, like you got like every indie game I can ever think of on your Steam." And I was like, "Yeah, pretty much," because like indie games like that. That's just like where I'm at half the time. I love indie games so much.
Why is that?
It's like, I don't know, like it's the idea of like a small team of people, they come together. It's not like this huge gigantic AAA thing that was just like rushed and put together, and like you're not even getting the full experience. It's just like, to me, like, I don't know, probably ever since I was a kid, I did like playing platformer games, and like that's probably where it came from. Like I love pixel graphics and all these other like different things, even if it's like a 3D thing. I just love like indie like developers, like just a small team, or like even if it's like a big indie team, it's just like the look and feel and like the music, and like you just feel the effort that they put into a game. It's not some big AAA title that already has an established audience that's gonna buy your next title no matter what. It's a random group of people who got together and like put their heart and soul into something, and like I just find like something special about that. Like that's why I like indie games so much. I don't know.
And that's why people are gonna like our channel, because we are basically the indie games of podcast.
we gotta invest a whole lot more into the artwork, because I'm pretty sure by now we still don't even got the we don't even have freaking profile picture for the podcast or any channel art whatsoever.
Right. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, bro, we got this.
All right. So basically, I am very into fighting games just because, to me, it's like a game of chess almost, where I gotta think of what my opponent is doing, and then I gotta think of what I'm doing, and then how I am going to beat them. What are they gonna do? And this whole mind game and stuff like that is just fun. Of course, sometimes I just do random stuff and I go for very ballsy plays and like go all out, but that's just when I want to mess around.
And see, like, I do think that's, like, good with, like, video games. I do see, like, a lot of people who are super competitive with games, but it's not always fun being in that competitive mindset. It always is good to, like, just, like, meme and, like, troll and go out there and, like, have fun with, like, what you're doing instead of being super serious all the time. That's kind of, like, why I just like being casual more often now. I really don't play games for competition. It's just, I like the more casual, laid-back nature.
Right, like for Celeste, I'd imagine you can speedrun that game, but you'd prefer to play it casually.
No, bro. I cannot speedrun any game, but like games like Celeste, I do enjoy that. It's like, still haven't beat the ninth chapter of that, even like after. I don't think it's been a year since it's been released, but it's been a while. But that game is very complicated and complex, and there's so many moments where you can mess up. I'm towards like the very end of the game called like Sea Slides, and I'm on like the 8th chapter of that, and I've been on this. I was sending my friend like messages through Discord, and he's like, have fun spending like 20 hours on that one last screen of like the puzzle. It's just the levels on that game are like so brutal. At some point, like I put the game I would put the game down for like months, because whenever I tried to play, it just gave me headaches by like how difficult it was to play. Yeah, but I still enjoy like that. That's like one of like that's up there with my top 10 list of like some of my favorite indie games. It's really good.
Or like or how about Hollow Knight? Like, have you played that?
I played that. Oh, bro, that's another one that's super brutal.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, bro, have you not played Hollow Knight before?
No.
Bro, that people make jokes of like how that's like comparable to Dark Souls, but that game is like genuinely really, really hard for me.
Frick, are you just sadistic in that sense, or what?
Yeah, probably. Like that's probably what it is about these indie games. It's like they just like to torture you so much, and I just keep coming back and keep buying them.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, Minecraft was an indie game.
I don't know. I really wouldn't consider Minecraft like now in 2020 to be an indie. That's like,
it's not. No, I know. No.
Yeah, that's a huge title.
What other indie games are there? I don't know. Cuphead.
I'm just now getting into that. I bought that one on my Switch.
But that's also really hard. Jesus Christ! I only know the super hard indie games. Stardew Valley?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, bro. I know you're trolling there. I think that's one I got on a PC and Switch.
I'm just saying. I don't know how difficult it is.
That's like a wind down game. That's just like a relaxing afternoon where you really don't feel like doing much. That's kind of like comparable to like spending an afternoon on like Animal Crossing or something.
Right. And we haven't even gotten into how much you love that game.
Oh yeah, it's genuinely a good game.
Genuinely.
Yeah, it is. What do you mean?
No, I was just kind of like saying that because like as of late, I feel like Pokemon hasn't been that great compared to other things. That's why it's kind of like genuinely a good game.
Yeah,
as compared to Pokemon.
See, that was kind of like part of like one of my examples where like no matter how good or bad the game is, it'll still get sales because there's an established fan base. The only reason I bought that game was because like I don't know whose review I looked at, but they were like, "Oh, this is like a love letter to the fans, and this is like a really great game." I bought the game and I was like, "Dude, I don't want to play this for like more than like 20 minutes." I got through the whole story and everything only because I paid $60 for it, and like now we're at the point where like they released the DLC a couple days ago. And it seems like they still didn't even get like that stuff right, and I'm like, dude, I'm probably never ever buying another Pokemon game again. I'll be honest with you. I'm done with like the whole series. I think the best one I've ever played was like Black 2 and White 2. Like those were actually fun.
Right. But I mean, that's part of the issue with most companies is they just believe like, oh, well, I could just release this and get more money for it. I feel like a lot of movie, like, not sequels, but like the third movie in the franchise, the fourth movie in the franchise, it's just like, come on now. Just let the series die.
Bro, if it's like Pokemon, this is like technically like the 8th movie in the franchise, and that's never gonna die.
I'm just saying, like, things like Shrek 1 and Shrek 2, I feel like those are good movies. Anything after that, it's just like, eh.
Yeah, it's like for me that's my problem with games. It's like the established fan base theory. It's just like it doesn't matter the type of effort that you put into the game, people will buy it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So like I really don't bother with things that are more closer towards the vein of like AAA, because I just feel like it's not genuine. Not to say that there aren't anybody who do like make AAA games and whatnot that are like really genuinely good games. It's just I really don't trust reviews anymore, and I don't want to give them my money.
I think that's a good thing, not trusting reviews. But I will say there are some good AAA games. Like from what I heard, The Last of Us is like, you know, that's a AAA game, but it's considered by a lot of people to be one of the best games out there because of like the story and the gameplay and all that kind of stuff.
Now you bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about Last of Us 2.
Can we get into a whole discussion? How long do you want this episode to be?
Bro, we're gonna be here for 2 hours talking about that, even though neither of us have played the game. I've seen how they've been like review bombing that game like down to hell, and I was like, oh. And then, like there was already like talk about how they thought people were like being paid off, and I was like, oh. And then they're like nobody's been paid off, or we're not being forced to give it 10 out of 10s, a genuine masterpiece, the greatest game on PS4. It's like when people give it reviews like that, you just like start to get a little suspicious, especially with all the leaks and whatnot. A certain golfing incident.
Right. I mean, that's why it's good to be skeptical. I know for me, like anytime I look at like a game on the App Store or like a product online, I check the most negative reviews to see what they're talking about.
Yeah. Like, I was kind of doing that when I was like building my computer. It was like, oh, like this part is like, you'd get like reviews of like 1 or like 2 or 3. It'd be like, oh, this is the worst product ever. Like the box came like scratched up, and I was like, oh yeah, like that person just got like a bad product. Like that was like, that's not gonna happen to me. And then like I got lucky, so right. I'm good.
I remember recently, my brother was looking for a guitar, and we were looking at guitar shops. And so I went onto like the review page and see the reviews, and I looked at the most negative ones, and there was some like drama between like the person leaving like a 1-star review and then another person saying false accusations, and then there was this whole drama thing going on. I was like, you know what? We're just not gonna go to that one, all right?
Yeah. That's
because
funny.
it's just like I ain't trying to deal with all that.
Yeah. That's great. Wow. The episode that was supposed to be about us introducing ourselves have been like turned into gaming. But we have been going on for an hour. We can keep going if you like. Up to you, bro.
I mean, it's up to you, man. I don't
Bro.
know what else you want to talk about on this call.
Very good question.
We talk about the main points that I mentioned talking about.
What main
Well,
points?
like-
We barely got through. We started to become like the inspiration podcast where we're like, hey guys, continue doing things if you want to like learn something, to develop a skill, or like all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, wow, we're being very like positive and inspirational. It's like, yeah, we're like the inspiration cast.
Their inspiration cast. We gotta rebrand, guys.
Oh yeah. We gotta tell all the artists, and we gotta like get everything redone.
Yeah, all the non-existent artists that have made
What
our
do you mean, bro?
non-existent
We're
logos.
professional. We got a whole team.
We got a whole team. This is all staged.
Oh yeah.
We actually
We're
have.
actually a big company.
Yeah, we're part of everything.
The mass
All
media.
the-
We're gonna
all
get.
the- multimedia networks.
Oh yeah. Two subscribers today. Tomorrow we're gonna have like 2 million.
Right, and those totally aren't gonna be fake bots, fake bot accounts. Alright. I mean, me personally, I say we just finish off, and then next time, hopefully, we have a better structure.
Yeah, bro. Because we just talked about like college and we ranted on for like a while. Hopefully next time we'll have some real structure.
Yep. You
All
have
right, bro.
anything you want to say?
That is a very good question.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, and thank you for watching the podcast. It's summer 2020. Nobody's going outside or doing anything. Have fun. All right, I don't know what to say, bro. It's hard. Neither of us know what we're doing. I'm trying.
What I was saying was we need to figure that stuff out.
Oh yeah, bro. We're gonna get so many views and so much money. We're gonna get everything figured out, and we're gonna give Target gift cards, Walmart gift cards, Amazon gift cards. We're gonna get sponsored by Honey and all these other big corporations. We got this. And just think
NordVPN.
about all the money.
Right. That's what we're doing
Jokes
this for,
aside.
aren't we? That's the reason
Bro.
we're doing this.
Yeah, it's all about the money. Okay, man.
Alright,
How do you want to end this?
Oh,
Bro, you gotta give him the classic. Bro, you gotta give him the classic DPP outro. Give it to him.
we don't have a DPP outro, but
Bro, you
Anyway.
gotta lead the audience
you.
out the door. Let them be on their way. I need you to do this. You got this.
alright. Deep breaths.
All right, you got this, bro.
Alright. So, with that out of the way, I'd like to thank all of you for watching this episode of the Discussion Production Podcast. Tune in next week when we'll probably have a more formal show/podcast, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day.
Oh, so it's confirmed that it's every week.
Mm-hmm.
Busted.
Well, we record every week, but it comes out every 2 weeks.
Hey,
No, that's not
I like that.
That's not confirmed. I never said that.
Nah, bro, I already got you on tape. I got you.
Damn it. You
Alright, yeah,
could
bro.
cut out the part where we... No, I was saying you could just cut out the part where we said this is all for the money, right? We could just edit that bit out.
Oh yeah, bro. I got you. I'll definitely edit that out.
Thank you, man. I really don't want anyone to get the wrong idea.
Oh yeah, bro. Everybody's gonna love us. We're doing this because we genuinely love being here, and we're all good friends, right, man?
Right.
We're doing this all for the fans because we love you guys so much. It's not about the money. Stop saying that. We just love being here. We love being YouTubers. We're not making millions. I know we had 3 different ad rolls in the middle of the video, but stop saying that. We're not millionaires. Come on, guys.
Yeah, right. I mean, no one said we were. That was just... Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely not. Of course. We're doing this for the fans. For the fans, right?
Right.
We're just recommending these great products such as Honey and Skillshare to all of our viewers.
Because we love the product.
Exactly. We just genuinely love the good product. It's not scripted. Don't say that. I just genuinely love these things.
Right.
Okay, bro.
All right.
All right. And thank you guys all for listening. End of the podcast. We're out.